Thank you so much for coming in today. I'm Alex Edge.
Hi, Eddie Rascal. Nice to meet with you.
Nice to meet you. So, as you understand, this is a collaborative law partner group that you've come to today. So, what is your issue or your dispute that you wanted to talk about?
Well, basically, I've come into kind of a dispute with my sister-in-law. She wants me to build her a new home, and so I'm the general contractor for the project. And I currently have a lien on the property, and I am expecting payment from her, and she is telling me that there are problems with the house that is not up to code. And so there are also problems with subcontractors that need to be worked out.
Okay, so y'all's dispute is centered around her paying you or being able to pay you so that you can fix and continue to build the house for her?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a reason that you came to the collaborative law instead of filing a suit, or?
Yeah, well, she's my sister-in-law, so she married my brother. I obviously want to have a good relationship with her after this home is constructed. I want her to have the house that she wants to live in, and I want her to be happy with that, and I want to continue to have good familiar relations with everyone. So it's important to me that we don't go into court and that we don't have kind of bad blood between us.
Sure. Have you heard much about the collaborative law process, or are you new to this?
I heard about it through a work associate, and I'm really interested in learning more.
Sure. Well, I can kind of give you a brief overview of the process and what you would have to expect out of it. The collaborative law process was initially begun in the 90s with a man named Stu Webb, who was an attorney, and he basically wanted an alternative dispute resolution type of field to go into that was less adversarial and kind of had a better outcome for the parties where they could meet in the middle that would also involve the attorneys from the get-go, unlike mediation. So he founded collaborative law, and he founded it mostly focusing towards family law, but now, as you know, we've expanded to different areas, businesses, construction, and then family still being the main one. So what the process would look like for you is that, was it Dixie, your sister-in-law?
Yes, that's her.
Okay. So my understanding is she's meeting with a collaborative lawyer as well right now. Is that correct?
I think she is, yes.
Okay. So the process is that if both of you are willing to partake in the process, we would have an initial meeting where we would all sit down face to face, and we would explain kind of the rules of the process and how I am your attorney, her attorney would be hers, the same rules of confidentiality would apply, what our expectations are of you. The collaborative law process is a full disclosure process, so it would require you to be very open with any information that was relevant to the situation, and same for her. And so we would get you to sign a collaborative law agreement, basically containing acknowledgments of both of you saying that you're willing to move forward with the process within the confines that we set out. We would have another meeting after that, mutually scheduled based on all of our needs, where it would give you an opportunity to go around and say what was important to you about this dispute and what your actual need was. It sounds like your needs are that you need to finance the rest of the project and pay your subcontractors so that you can finish building this house. And it sounds like her needs are going to be something along the lines of getting it up to code and being willing to pay for the work that's being done. But that would be completely up to you, whatever you feel like your needs are going to be. And that's not so much your interest of, there's a difference between interest. I think a good example for this would be, say there's a divorcing couple, and both of them want the house. Whenever I ask them what their need is for wanting to stay in that house in their divorce, their need would be something like maybe the mother was going to retain custody of the kids and she wanted the kids to stay in the same school district, rather than just she wanted the house because she liked the house. So something that's a little bit deeper, what your interests are behind your requests, is what we'll try and be pulling out of you.
Okay.
So it's really about being open and keeping that connection and that relationship with the other person, and so you can really understand where they're coming from, so that it's not going to be a win and a lose situation, but hopefully a win-win situation where both of you will be able to meet on an equal ground to both fulfill the most important needs that you have. So does that sound good so far?
That does, thank you. Yes.
Okay. So after we have that meeting, where you'll each be given an opportunity to speak, and we'll write down all of your needs, I want you to think about the different solutions that would work for you. Different things you'd be willing to compromise on, different things that you really need to have for your needs to be met, and things that are realistic. I think at the end of the day, we want this to be resolved without having to go to an impasse and go to litigation. So you really want to think about, like, it might not be everything that you want, but what is going to be enough to fulfill your needs. So that would be the next step, is sitting down together again, coming up with a list of different alternative solutions that would work for both of you. Then after that, we would go through that list and either say yes, no, or maybe to those ideas. So you would be given an opportunity to say yes, no, or maybe to all the ideas, and then she would be given that opportunity as well. And then we can kind of take a step back and look at that list and see what works best for you. If there's something that's a no, then it's off the table and we're not going to venture down that route. If there's something that's a maybe, that might be something that we could work with and look more into. But it really is about keeping that relationship there and even improving it, and not coming at it from this harsh adversarial point of view. So does that all sound good so far?
That sounds good.
Okay. So there are a couple things, though, that I just want to make sure that you're aware of. Like I said earlier, I would be your attorney in this matter, so anything you said to me would be confidential. However, I would ask that you be as open to the process as possible, and part of the collaborative process is that both parties can trust each other, and that they can trust that each other is disclosing absolutely everything. So while what you say to me personally would be confidential, just know that I would be asking you to disclose a lot of things to the whole group so that we can make the process move as smoothly as possible.
Absolutely. I want to give you all the information that I know so that I can get the best deal that I can.
Perfect. And another thing I would like you to know is that if at any point we do reach an impasse where for some reason we can't come up with a solution, whatever she says she needs, you can't do. Whatever you say you need, she can't do. And it does need to go to litigation. I will always be keeping track of the statute of limitations for you in case something like that is an issue, but I think that we're okay right now. I think we've got at least a few months before these liens become an issue. But if we do reach that point, myself and the collaborative attorney for Dixie would both withdraw counsel. We would withdraw any experts that we had, any party that was in connection with this collaborative law resolution dispute process, and then we would turn it over to a different firm. And that's just part of the statute and one of the ways that this process works, so that you can fully trust that my goal is to resolve this collaboratively with you. Does that sound good?
It does. So basically everything that you compile while we're in this process would be transferred to a law firm that I would hire in the event that this comes to a lawsuit.
Yeah, within the laws of confidentiality and what you would want to disclose to them, that would be up to you to what you would want to then bring to a law firm.
Okay.
I would step out of the process at that point. And then just a last thing to let you know is that we may need some experts or some third parties to come in, whether that's other people within the issue. And if it is an expert, it would be a neutral expert that we both mutually agree on. Something that someone that you said is okay, and that Dixie says is okay. And they would come in bipartisan, so to speak, and give an honest analysis or whatever it is that we've asked them to do. And that might, in this case, be an inspector of the house or something like that. So is that okay with you, that we would be having third parties that would be working for both you and Dixie?
That sounds good. I mean, I'd have to meet with the expert just to make sure that I really can sign on, but that sounds good in principle to me. I think that I can be part of that.
Okay, great. Well, I will let you look at an agreement, a collaborative law agreement, just so you can look over a blank one. And then I will contact Dixie's collaborative lawyer, and we'll set up a joint meeting with the four of us where we can kind of begin the process, and might do a little bit of repetitive explaining of what we just talked about, but we just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page at all times.
Sounds good.
So
right.
I hope that we can resolve this much quicker than if this was in litigation. We don't have to wait for a court hearing or anything like that.
Me
and
too.
You're also saving yourself all the fees of filing and everything.
And all the bad blood.
Exactly, exactly. So I'll also draw up an engagement letter for you and send that to you with our agreement as attorney and client and what kind of fee payment we're going to have. And I want you to read through that thoroughly. And then if you have any questions on that, you can call me or send it back to me. And once you've agreed to everything within that, you can sign it and send it back to me, and I'll have a copy for you next time we meet.
Perfect. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.